Yo, press record. What's up? You're listening to Zero to X. My name is Daniel, and today, as always, we have
Amara in the studio, guys.
Amara in the studio. Amara, we said that they are listening. When they go start the watch, guy.
Yeah, we're
I'm
working on it.
dragging
We're
you, I'm
working on
dragging me, I'm dragging us.
it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Don't worry, guys. Real soon, you see the
Yeah,
people behind.
definitely. Something
Real
I look
soon.
forward to.
Real soon, man. Amara,
So,
how
how
was
was
it?
your week now?
That was literally the question I was about to ask. My week, man. Remember, I said I had a weird transition from last year till this year.
Yeah,
So, but still, somehow, like the first week of work, which was today is like the almost 15th, like 13th or 12th or
today's
14th,
13th.
13th, yeah. Like the very first week of work, like the week of the second, it didn't kind of feel like work, yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
now it's feeling more like work.
But for me, it doesn't even feel like it was a new year. I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle of the year. I'm just doing my thing.
So, like, work is coming around. Everybody's I honestly feel that all this work we are doing is ritual because everybody was your blood.
Honestly,
Different
I feel for you guys.
people.
I every single
Bro,
you guys are trying. Nine to
bro,
five as you guys are trying.
the,
I am a 9 to 5, but like in the
your,
office,
there's 9 to 5 and there's
and there's
nine to
nine to
five,
five. Yeah,
man. Bro, like every
you
time
guys are
I
trying.
every time I check my calendar, my Google Meet, bro. Thank God I've kind of like mastered in some way how to like avoid anxiety. But
Mm-hmm.
the moment I look at them, I'm like, I'm not owing you people money. Well, technically I am. They pay me salary and I have to
Yeah,
deliver.
yeah, you
So
are owing them
technically
money.
I'm owing them money. So, but yeah, how did I solve my calendar problem? I just told everybody, especially because I work in operations. I told everybody, because I don't want any meeting before 12 o'clock.
Okay,
Yeah, because what's the point? If you literally give people your entire day, they will take it from
they
you.
will take it.
And
Yeah,
then the point is that when are you actually going to start acting on the agenda or the action items from the meetings?
yeah.
90% of meetings are useless and they could have been sent in a mail. To
Mm-hmm.
be honest, could have been
I
solved in
completely
an email.
agree.
Are people still in the mood of New Year, Mara? Do you think people are still in the mood of New Year?
I think so. I see it on some people's WhatsApp statuses and Instagram stories. Yeah,
Still.
people still feel like you know that hype. Yeah, it's still there for now. I think it will be there throughout January, honestly, and then from February, people begin to revert to the original version of themselves.
The original version
This
of
is not to
themselves.
say, guys, this is not to say that like people would improve to some better version of
Yeah,
themselves.
we
This
take
is
what we
just to
get,
say
man.
those who will revert, and those who would improve
So,
would
how do
improve.
you not revert?
How do you not revert?
That's a very good question. You literally have to change who you are, and kind of like how we spoke about New Year resolutions and like see by every means take all the energy and momentum you can from it
Mm-hmm.
and like
Yeah,
push to where
yeah.
you can get to. Like,
I'm
don't
completely
ever
on that
disregard it. Like,
table.
it's free energy, it's free
It's free
momentum. Why
energies.
would you
Yeah,
do that? Do
yeah,
you know how difficult it can be sometimes to pick yourself up in the middle of a random day
yeah.
in July?
Bro,
Bro, no, man. Like, free energy, free ginger. Please, by all means, take it, man. By all means, take it. But how do you make that more sustainable? Like,
well, personally, from experience, the
yeah.
trick is to set goals that are actually within your reach.
Uh-huh.
When I say within your reach, this is not to say that you should set out that you shouldn't set
Outlandish
audacious goals.
goals.
I
Yeah.
love audacious goals.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you feel like, imagine where you woke up on January 1st and you said, "Oh yeah, I saw that thing on YouTube. Everybody's doing 100 push-ups challenge. I'm gonna join them.
Only
100
now.
push-ups every day." Bro, the chances of you getting to 100 every day for the next 6 months the chances are pretty
I'm
slim.
pretty
Now,
slim.
this is not to say again that you can't do some reps, maybe not 100, maybe you're doing 50 or 60 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But how about you set something that you know that you can keep up with,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, all through the year, and then build on that. It's very important to me that you build on your exit. So it's the thing I think in the compound effect book by Darren Hardy. He says 1% increase. James Clear talks about it in Atomic
Atomic
Habits,
habits, yeah.
that a 1% increase every day for a year amounts to, I think, a 36% growth
Yeah.
or something. I can't remember.
36x growth, literally.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
365%.
36x,
Yeah.
not 36%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is important is making tomorrow better than today. So even if you started at 10, like when people talk to me about wanting to, I want to slim down, I want to start building, bodybuilding, or whatever it is you want to do, I'm just like, dude, just start. Do the number you can. Just push to failure. Pushing to failure just means do till your body can't do anymore and stop there. Yeah. And then show up the next day. But the thing is, you don't want to push yourself beyond what your body is capable of in the first few attempts at that endeavor, because you might end up burning yourself out and not being able to push through. So I think it is very important that you set goals that you can achieve and then build on those achievements. That's how you can sustain something over the length of a year. I mean, that is one way, even if that's not the only way.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Kind of like for me, it's like more than just goals I want to achieve. And again, like this is incredibly nuanced for me, and I hope people can. And it's incredibly nuanced for every other person here. So again, the idea is like you take bits and pieces that work for you from here, take bits and pieces that work for you from somewhere else, and then like combine everything together and figure out what works for you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That is the great challenge of personal improvement. Everybody has a responsibility towards themselves to do.
Yeah.
Figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
Because you likely know yourself better than most people, especially if you take the time.
Yeah.
So for me, it's knowing that, okay, yeah, we're going for before I set goals, I have to know that it's like a worthy lifestyle change for me. Like in the first place, do you get? So it's like, that gives me the mindset to commit enough to
that is super important.
Commit enough to that actually doing important. This.
Your why, like why are you doing this?
I hate the fact that your start with why it starts so cliche. So
it sounds so cliche. Yes, that's what I was going to say. It sounds so cliche, but it's the truth.
It's the truth.
If your why is not strong, like this, I remember sometimes in the past when there was a time I used to run in Oknebi, Ikeja, right? I used to run from Oknebi to Oregon, and there was a time I just got lazy and stopped. And then I remember waking up one Saturday morning, I was like, Amara, why did you stop? Like, dude, you were honestly just lazy. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but like, I needed my sleep. But you see, that's the thing. If there was some higher reason at the time, I mean, but now I've moved past that. Now for me, it's kind of like, when I think about all the things I do that consist of my day, they are for me in a way attributed to the fact that how do I the word okay, let's try that again. Let's try that again. So for me, I look at this version of myself, this future Amara, and that's exactly what I see. And so everything I do today is because I know that this is who I am in the future. Like, I have decided upon myself that this is what I want Amara to look like. I want Amara to have his health intact. I want his wealth to be intact as well. And for me to do that, it needs to start showing from my daily habits. You get? And so all that I am and all that I do right now are aligned to what I'm trying to. In fact, I won't even say build, because I mean it's more or less like the more I do it, more it affirms who I become.
Yeah, so you're essentially living it out.
Exactly, I'm living it out. So James Clear says this thing where he's like, you score points in favor of who you want to become. Guys, please read Atomic Habits.
Bro, that's such a good point.
Yeah, you keep scoring points, that's such a and good then point. They build over time. They build, what's the word now? They build assurance about the fact that you are living out this reality of yourself, and there is no doubt, there's no conflict. So you don't wake up on the morning and battle laziness. You wake up on the morning and you're just like, oh yeah, this is what I do. People don't say, oh, you're disciplined because you wake up every morning to go and jog. It's just, oh, I'm a jogger. I jog for a living.
That's a very different paradigm. That's
scoring points in favor of that person.
This thing you said, you said a lot of really, 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 really important points. Like, and I had a lot of realizations during the week, especially when I was in transit, or like in rides or whatever. Excuse me. And it was like, I found, like I said, I sometimes can be a little impatient. So, and then in those times where it seems I can't exactly actively work on certain things, for instance, now, it's not as easy to work in rides as people think it is. It's really
People
not
make
as
it look
easy.
very easy. I'm like,
It's really
how are
not
y'all
as
doing it?
easy. And, well, I guess it depends
I'm,
on
I'm,
your
I'm
work, but it's
hardly
really
I'm
not as
hardly at the
easy.
back seat too, so there's that as well.
It's really not as easy. So at that in that 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, depends on how Lagos wants to Lagos that day.
Yeah.
I'm probably left with nothing to do but to think. And then a lot
Hmm.
of the times I fall into what is the dissonance between my current reality and my ideal reality, what it is I'm working towards. And sometimes it can become incredibly frustrating. There were like 3 times this week that I caught myself literally, oh my God. Like literally, I was like, yo, this is so not far because I believe myself die.
Yeah.
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 But still, like this isn't here.
Yeah.
And I don't like that it's not here. So
Hmm.
that dissonance in reality. So, like what you said about scoring points with yourself to become the person that you really want to become,
Hmm.
such a powerful point. Really
Yeah.
good point. So I was saying, like for me, man, like just really know that this is the why you're doing this. Like it's going to
Hmm.
be a
Hmm.
consistent lifestyle thing. It's not just a change. It's not just a New Year resolution. Think
Yeah.
about it as a
Yeah.
new me resolution. We should
Thank
probably
you.
retitle that thing, man.
Yeah, new me
New me
resolution. Yeah.
resolution.
Yeah.
And you can
This
take
is
them as many times in the
and
year as you
the
want.
beautiful thing is once you accept that is who you are,
Yeah.
that if that thing you are trying to do becomes a lot more
Be do and then doing
be do
reinforces
have.
being,
I mean,
bro.
be
Yeah,
do. Yeah.
it shall just they shake each
Yeah,
other's
yeah, I
hands.
get you. We scattered the boy. But yeah, doing enforces who you are.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, and who you are determines what you do. So like it just helps. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's like hands washing each other. Like
yeah.
yeah, it's kind of
Absolutely.
like that. So, but now practically, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot from someone who has closely studied. We've both closely studied habits and systems for a while in
Mm-hmm.
trying to become um people that we want to become.
High
Yeah,
performance.
high performance. See, the word that comes to my mind when I think of us is elite. That is the word, bro. Like that is the level that I want to get to. That people, we know how we think of the superstar like Messi and Ronaldo. Like
Yeah, world class.
that all
Yeah,
world class, bro.
yeah,
That all you feel when
yeah,
you are just in the presence of greatness.
yeah.
That is exactly how I want to inspire people to feel when they just think of Daniel did
Daniel
this, Amara
Amara
did
did
this.
this. Yeah, I get
That
you.
is exactly how I want them to feel. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and bro, maybe because I read a lot of books like fiction. Fiction is the one that is not real now.
Mm-hmm.
I read a lot of fiction books around like espionage, the government,
Oh,
spies,
okay.
the military, and whatnot. So, bro, I fell in love with Navy SEALs and special agents and all of that jazz. And like the amount of difficulty these guys go through, the amount, not just difficulty, impossibilities that they go through to deliver results
Yeah.
and still deliver. You know, this place is elite. Like they're in
Mm-hmm.
a class of their own.
A class of your
Like,
own, man.
bro, that's what I want to get to, man.
Yeah.
That's what I want to get to. But
But you were
being
talking
that
about
there is some inertia that you kind of have to
yeah,
defeat.
how to make these things practical
Yeah,
in
how
your
to make them practical
day-to-day
because
life.
I'm more like it's all good and well to talk about it. In fact, it releases endorphins.
Mm-hmm.
I
It
read an
does.
email and I was it an email or a tweet or an email and a tweet where someone says talking about all these things like mental masturbation.
Bro, like I have it written. You check one of my notes somewhere. I have it written somewhere. Like, guy, doing is always better than
Doing is
talking.
always better than
It's
talking.
always
Man.
better than talking. Like, it's the one reason why I remember what you said in the last podcast. I can't remember what you called how
Due
you
to
describe
talk
what I do.
ratio.
Yeah, due to talk ratio. It's the one reason why I don't like talking again. Like, please. I'm on this podcast because this is doing.
Do you understand?
If not that this is doing, I wouldn't be talking.
Actually,
I'm on the
this
podcast
is doing.
because, like, I decided that yes, I will do this podcast. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Because, bro, talking is so easy.
It's easy.
It's so easy.
And then, bro,
but
like,
when it gets down to doing actual work,
when the rubber meets the road, man, that's like, bro, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Like it's totally different. Like you can say you do all these things and like the ideas will always make you feel good, but like how about the actual execution of that? So how do you think someone can move from the person that talks a lot to the person that does more than they talk? Amara, breathe. What's that like?
Guys, this is how I see it. One way, okay. there might be a lot of ways to approach
Mhm.
answering this question.
Yeah.
But one way I like to think about this thing is it's kind of like an out of body experience. I won't say that I don't consider myself one of the most imaginative people in the world.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I know what an out of body experience will look like, in the sense that like I'm seeing myself doing these things. Yeah.
Mhm.
So for me, it's kind of like when I'm lazing about, I'm literally like just gazing at myself.
Oh,
Let's
being
say
a
I'm
waste
lying down.
man.
Let's say I'm lying down, or I'm watching anime, because guys, I love anime, and I'm lying down and I'm watching anime. I'm just looking at myself like, Amara, what the hell are you doing? Like, how is this in any way beneficial to you? Can you get your ass over? Like, it's literally like me talking to myself.
Oh
like,
my god,
dude. So I think
no.
one way people could adopt this is just ask yourself, would future you be happy with you? Like, time is the irretrievable element.
Mm-hmm.
Like Andy Mukolo says,
Mm-hmm.
time is the irretrievable element. And because your time is the only thing that you can't get back,
Mm-hmm.
those moments will add up over time.
Mm-hmm.
Those moments of waste will add up over time. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's always, there's only so few times I give myself time for break, times for break during my day. And the most one I give myself a time for break during my day is when I'm eating.
Yeah.
So when I'm eating, I decide, okay, I can watch whatever I want. I can actually, what's the word? I can actually
unwind, relax.
Unwind, yes.
Got
I can
you.
actually unwind.
Yeah.
But the moment I'm done eating, I'm back to grinding. So I think people can try to adopt. Just ask yourself, if somebody were looking at you, if you were being observed, if somebody was sitting behind you every single
good point.
day, that's what the out of body experience can look like.
Got you.
If you
that makes a lot of
being
sense.
Observed, like
that makes a lot of sense.
And I think some people are naturally like that, where you naturally always feel observed. Like you feel like, oh yeah, people are always watching, so you feel shy to say use that in your favor.
Bro, like
allow yourself to feel like people are always watching you. What the hell are you doing?
That's like, so cool.
Can you sit up?
Yeah.
Can you do better? Can you fix up?
Actually.
And so like today I let myself fail, but that's fine. But tomorrow I can't allow that same failure.
Oh, okay.
So every single thing I'm doing tomorrow has to be, okay, how can I improve in some way upon that failure of yesterday? So even if today I messed up with people watching, when I say people, guys, I mean the imaginative people, the imaginative Amara watching me. That's fine. Tomorrow, how do I do better? Because it's pretty important. So like when I think about the out of body, I'm always like, when I'm anything that makes me lazy, makes me act in a lazy way. Yeah. Just so that I'm already thinking that what the hell am I somebody's already in my head is asking me, this is not leading. Like if you and that's the thing, because A plus B has to equal C at some point. Yeah. So if your A is now becoming letter L, lol. That's an L, bro. You're taking an L. You're not adding up. Like, bro, it's not gonna add up. It's not gonna add up. So yeah, guys, I think that can help in some way. That's how I like.
I'm definitely going to try that.
Yeah.
That thing you said about, and again, guys, like, you know how. So the point is, one thing that we're big on is you have an end goal. Like, use everything within means and within reason to try to achieve that. It doesn't have to be as pretty or as structured. So that's why, like, I'm in no way against New Year resolutions. I know a couple of other people that are like, no, discipline over motivation. The motivation, wherever motivation can get you, let it get you there. And along the
allow
discipline.
Yes.
Man, because the point is progress at the end of the day.
Progress
not
is
just progress, like the kind of person you become. Like those two things are definitely paramount. But this point Amara just made about like how you imagine yourself being watched, because let's not lie, there are certain things you will know the people are watching.
Yes. Yes. Bro.
Actually, this is such
you're lying down and watching Netflix and you say greatness. How is this greatness, bro? Bro. What? Bro. You're on Twitter and that's greatness. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not dragging anybody. I'm so sorry.
We do Netflix and we do Twitter, but like the point is everything within reason.
Balance, guys.
Everything within reason. Balance.
Everything within reason.
Balance, man. Everything within reason. Everything within frame. Everything within context. Like,
yeah.
Essentially, if you do what you're supposed to do, you'll be fine. But I agree that that is easier said
Done.
than done.
Yes, it is. It is absolutely easier said than done.
Yeah. So that's a really cool hack. I'm actually going to try that. I've never really thought about it, but like the would I say psychology of it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You just will never do some kind of things
Yeah.
if you knew people were watching
Yeah.
you. That's pretty cool. Something else I think that helps or that has helped me is to
Yeah.
have immovables,
Mm.
because you find out that when it seems you don't have disciplines, when things are too free, things are too lax.
Yeah.
So that imagine a ship that is not anchored and is not going somewhere. So that's the point. If you're not going somewhere and you're not anchored, you will drift.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Yeah. So the
like,
vision must be clear.
as in, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must be. You are either headed somewhere or you are anchored at a point. You
Yeah.
will drift. You will crash.
Yeah.
You will, it's
Yeah.
like whatever. So like the point is, have certain immovables in your life and in your day. Let's try and get as practical as we can.
Mm-hmm.
This to this point is for this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, one of the biggest habits that you will learn is the ability to say no.
Yes.
Unapologetically. You need to say no, even if it's to yourself or like whatever. Like literally today, my brother was like, "Bro, how far? Let's go play basketball." And I'm like,
"Nah."
And people that know me and basketball. I was like, ah.
Yeah.
Like he was already dressed, and by the way, Dom, my brother is a hard worker. This thing. He has balanced it.
So
he knows where
he was probably using his own free time.
Using his own free time. For my own work time. Please, yeah. It's all of us that want to be rich. Please, yeah. Your free time.
Yeah.
It's not my free time. No, I was like,
yeah.
But funny enough, it was actually fairly easy for me. It was almost a no-brainer. Somewhere in my mind was like, "Bro, are you seriously asking me at this time if I want this thing?" But yeah, just have certain immovables in your life, and best start with 2-3 things. Yeah, start with one thing.
Yeah,
one thing consistently every day that you keep sacrosanct, like whatever that is for you. So if it's exercise for 30 minutes, because this thing, you won't like yourself if you don't respect yourself.
Yes.
And you need to start building that. You need to start building it slowly. And what goes back to the point Amara made about, as in, how did you put it again? When you
scoring points in
exactly
favor of who you want to become.
If you take a look at yourself or your life right now, man, you kind of don't like everything that you see, and that's fine. It takes a lot of self-awareness and courage to admit that to yourself. Yeah, but if you do that right now, like listening to this podcast, wherever in the world you are, and you kind of see something you don't like, let me enter this thing very well. You've read all the books.
Yes.
You've watched all the YouTube.
Yes.
You have playlists of motivation. Ben Lionel Scott. Or you will never outwork. I'm entering everybody, including myself. You have all the motivational videos on YouTube or your playlist. Every hack on Twitter and your bookmarks. Everything. But you still find out that, man, one day I will still come and drag people for their Twitter bookmarks and they are saved. And
bro, my Twitter bookmarks got so bad at some point. I was like, when am I going to read all these things? I was like, oh
my god.
But carry on.
But like back to my point here, like if you've ever felt like you really don't like what you see, you can't lie to yourself, except you want to live in denial, and you can only get distracted for so long.
Yeah.
There will be one time, 2 a.m. in the morning, where there will be nobody to chill with. There won't be anything to do. There won't be whatever vice it is you might typically engage whatever distracts you from that, because it will gnaw at you eventually.
Yeah.
Except you really deadened yourself, and I hope you haven't gotten to that point. But whatever, if you find yourself at that point, yeah, no matter how low you are, or whether you're in the middle of the wrong or you're still even high, people even that are even up there say they have imposter syndrome. If this affects everybody in some way, but let's say you are a little less quote unquote accomplished, for lack of a better word, you probably an easy way, or probably a way to go right now in trying to like figure this out, is to do things that will make you respect yourself. And you just need to do one thing consistently for 7 days, then make it 10, then make it 20, then make it a month. And you will see the way you will just start religiously doing that thing. There is a pride that you will use to carry yourself.
Yeah.
Doing that thing consistently will then help you say, oh, I trust myself enough to do
do
this,
other
and then
things.
to do
Yeah,
other
that was
things,
yeah.
and then to do other things. And see, don't see, I fell for this thing. This thing, this thing I'm about to say
I know what you
probably
want to
set me
say.
back for 5 years.
I
Don't
know.
do
Too many things
at
at once.
Don't. Don't do too many things
Yeah.
at once.
Yeah.
Guys, like start with one.
When you're building, when you're
take it
building,
easy. It's
emphasis
like,
on when you're
when
building.
you're building, start with one. Gain enough respect in yourself. Like it's like when you're working out, like you're building the habits, but you're literally also building the strength.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
You went for
Your
mates went for chest workout. You went for full body workout
Do you
on day one,
understand?
and then you want to go and continue tomorrow.
No,
You're
bro,
gonna set
just start
yourself
with
up.
one. It's a respectable effort. Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, start with one. Once you do that thing consistently for 30 days. This reminds me of that story in the Bible where Naaman, like a Syrian king, who had a really bad disease, and he went to some prophet in Israel, and the prophet told him to do one really stupidly simple thing. And he was like, that's all.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. Guys, mostly what we need to like level up is really in doing simple things consistently enough. Yeah. Really, that's it. So, guys,
another thing, just to add to what you said,
mm-hmm.
I think now I completely acknowledge the fact that there is a need for. Sorry, guys. Completely acknowledge the fact that there is a need for us to meet our needs, our daily needs. So
Yeah.
there might be decisions you might have to take in favor of meeting a need. So let's say you've not eaten today, or you don't know where the next week's meal is going to come from.
100%.
And so for that reason, like that alters the kinds of decisions you will make. That's fine.
Yeah.
If you are doing things today that are more along the lines of meeting your immediate needs, that is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But you see, you need the ability to play the long game.
Correct.
Which is what a lot of people in our generation don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That perspective, yeah.
And I don't have an issue with people not having that thing. I just have an issue, and I think this is sort of irrelevant, but I just have an issue with people projecting their short-term thinking on my long-term approach toward things. Like, you don't know that I'm playing the long-term game. You don't know that the efforts that I am putting into what I'm doing, even though you are not seeing so much fruit right now, are geared towards my long-term goals and long-term general long-term view of things. But you are here trying to make the next quick buck. Oh, okay, like what's that skill I will learn that will give me stuff? And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. If you need to learn a skill to meet something right now, that's perfectly fine. But you also need the ability to play the long-term game. So you need to also pick things that you know that will be relevant over 5-10 years. So that while you are doing the one that meets the short-term goals, you are still also doing things that would help you become the long-term version of yourself. You don't just do one and ignore the other. 100%. Now, the percentage to which you might give them time might differ. You might give the short-term ones like 70% of your time.
I was literally about to make this point. Yeah.
That's perfectly fine as well. But it is pretty important that you are able to identify. It's pretty important that you are able to identify what your long-term thinking is and what your short-term thinking is, and tell them apart, and also still play both games. Yeah. Because that helps you at the end of the day. Yeah. To do both without leaving anyone untouched.
Very, very good point. I was literally just about to make this addition, and I'm glad we did. So, like, again, we are sharing our experiences and journeys.
Yeah, I'm saying it because I at some point also had to take short-term decisions.
100%. So it's like, as much as we hope this helps as many people as it can, like I've said earlier, some situations are incredibly nuanced. Like there are different inputs, there are different factors. So like there might not be a one size fits all. Yeah. So again, our hope is that you pick something from here and apply it. Yeah. And we kind of like always like to leave you with something specific to do or to say or to think about or to, and that thing for me could be or for this exact podcast is like, just pick one thing and just do consistently. Just 30 minutes a day. Yeah. See, the way you will respect yourself. You would respect. There is a way you will carry yourself. Like
in addition to that, in addition to the respect it gives you, like when you do one thing consistently, let's say you decided that you wanted to practice a recipe every day for 30 minutes or for 1 hour, because cooking might take longer than 30
Mm-hmm.
minutes. So you wanted to practice a recipe for 30 minutes every day. That's perfectly fine,
Yeah.
right? Or for 1 hour every day.
Mm-hmm.
The more you do that, and the more you do that, the more it begins to feel like, yeah, I have the ability to take something
Yeah.
and do it consistently. You begin to feel like, yeah, I
There
can do
is
things
a
consistently.
self-respect you just
Yeah.
have for yourself.
Yeah.
Like
It
doing
makes
one
you,
thing
it makes you
consistently.
approach any
bro,
other thing
like
from
the
that confidence.
bro.
From that
The
confidence.
confidence you used to
Yeah.
buga and what, bruh, stuff it, man.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's all we have time for today, guys.
Thank you so much for tuning
fun.
in.
This was fun. This was fun. Like, guys, share your thoughts. Share your thoughts. It's really about like the things we talked about today. I know we touched a couple of touchy subjects, but
Yeah.
share your thoughts. Let's hear what you have to say. All right, guys, we have to sign out now, and we're going to see you soon. So, bye, kids.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.